Hi guys, and welcome back to the YouTube channel Reiki Zen. I hope we're all well. How are we doing? Thank you to a couple of new subscribers that have jumped on board to the channel, so it's lovely to have you on board. Thank you. And the last couple of videos that I've done have been about crystals, and one video in particular was about crystals for headaches. The next video was about crystals for anxiety and panic attacks. However, today I wanted to focus on a crystal, or it's not actually a crystal, it's actually a glass. However, we will call it a crystal because it is just as beautiful as a crystal. It is very, very powerful, and it is extraterrestrial, so it is not from this world. It was formed on our planet when a meteor hit our planet many millions of years ago and landed around the Czech Republic, Germany, around that area, and landed near a lake called Moldavite. So if you're familiar with it, if you've heard of it, then you're probably aware that I'm going to be today talking about Moldavite. And that is my piece there. I haven't got any light shining behind me, unfortunately, so you'll be able to see through it, but normally it's got like this sort of wonderful green, bubbly, glassy colour to it. However, I'm just going to sit and hold it while I do the video. There's been a lot of videos about the positivity of Moldavite and how good it is and how good of a healer it is. There's also been a lot of videos and controversy about how Moldavite has ruined people's lives, or how people perceive their lives have been ruined by Moldavite. So I thought I'd just throw my element or my perspective into the ring to put out there into the realms of YouTube for people to watch and tune in if they so wished, and if they enjoy the video, and if you like the videos, and if you watch some of my other videos, don't forget to like and subscribe, and give me a shout and comment and say hi, because it's lovely to interact with so many beautiful souls whenever I do make a video. So yeah, getting back on track with Moldavite. I mean, I bought this piece of Moldavite. I've probably had this piece about 3 years now, maybe a little bit longer, but it was towards, I was obviously going through my spiritual awakening, and I'd gone through quite a vast amount of it. As I've said in many videos before, I don't think a spiritual awakening really ends. I just think you develop in so many different ways and enhance on different levels. So I don't believe that a spiritual awakening is just like 1 minute you're asleep, next minute you're awakened. I do believe it is a continuous development of your own energy, your soul, and you're going through this shift and you're going through this movement, and this happens through various different things. However, for me personally, if I didn't have the Moldavite, I don't think I would have developed as well or as quickly without it. Now, I say it as quickly, so speed isn't always a good thing. So when we are developing and when we're going through a spiritual awakening, we need that spiritual awakening to take time. We need it to happen when it needs to happen for us, for our soul, for our journey. However, my spiritual awakening had been going on since my early to mid 20s. That's when it started really for me, when I'd hit a really rock bottom low with depression and anxiety and mental health problems. And it was at that point that I discovered meditation, and then eventually discovered my healing journey, discovered the Reiki, and it was well before the Reiki that I got the Moldavite. So I'm probably looking maybe 4 years ago that I got this piece of Moldavite. And Moldavite now is becoming increasingly expensive because it's finite. There's only so much you can get of it, of which is actually genuine. there is a lot of fakes out there, which you will probably find on Amazon and eBay and various different things like that, various online shops. A lot of it from India and China, so there is a lot of fakes out there. So the genuine stuff is going to be really expensive. This piece that I bought, like I say, about four years ago, whatever it was. I mean, it's quite a decent sized chunk. I wear it every day. I never take it off. I have it in a cage around my neck, and it's always near my heart chakra. And I've worn it and worked with it for that whole period of time of 4 years so far and counting. I'm actually considering getting another piece, however, it is expensive, so I need to think about that. I need to think about the cost for it. Anyway, getting back onto the story of Moldavite. So for me, what I discovered really helped with my awakening journey and really helped with developing my third eye, my heart chakra, my spiritual awakening. I did a lot of meditating of putting the Moldavite on my third eye, just lying on my back and going into a meditative state, reaching alpha state, becoming really, really deep into my presence. And then it's only a couple of times with Moldavite that I've actually energetically left my physical body and hovered above it, and lots of strange things have happened. But it only happened for small periods of time. And I think it was initially, for me, the first time I did it, it was kind of like, shit, what's going on here? And then I just kind of like bounced back into my body, because it was kind of like the fear kicked in. I was just like, wow, that was a bit like strange but intense. And it really does have such an addictive power, such an attraction. And you know, for me personally, I do seem to connect with crystals quite well, quite easily. I can usually feel the energy of them quite well. And you know, for me, this Moldavite, as soon as I picked it up and I held it in my hand, and I always hold crystals with my right hand, that's my dominant hand for energy healing. And as soon as I picked it up, I just felt this intense vibration of energy all around my hand and going up my arm. And for me, that was my indication that I needed to pick this piece up. And from then on, it's been quite a journey. I wouldn't say... So a lot of people are saying that Moldavite has, you know, it's ruined their life. It has caused so much grief. It's caused so much anxiety. It's caused them to have depression. It's caused them to have panic attacks. They're having palpitations. They're having physical symptoms. But what stage are they at in their life? When they buy this Moldavite, what stage are they at? Are they really at a place where they think if they pick something up that's so powerful, so high vibrational, and they just put it on with not really a lot of knowing about crystals or working with crystals or feeling the energy, not knowing what is going to happen with them? They'll probably just think, oh, it's a lovely colour, I'll put it on, and not even think that crystals do have an energy, and every single crystal has its own vibration, has its own energy to help in some way. And this crystal is, I would say, out of all the ones that I've got, this is the most powerful. And it, for me, it sometimes gives me palpitations. It sometimes makes me feel very hot and overwhelmed. I sometimes feel rushes of energy from nowhere. When I put it on my third eye, I sometimes feel things around here. I feel like the third eye is opening even more. It's constantly developing, it's constantly working. So if you wear this every single day, it is working with you every moment, and it is unfolding. And as I talk about with Reiki and with energy healing, when I work with clients and they receive energy healing and they have some sort of emotional breakdown, or they start crying, or they get upset, or they they discover this trauma that was in their early life, or maybe it brings things into their life that they thought, well, I don't know how to deal with. Sometimes we need to go through these processes and we need to physically experience these things for them to unfold and for your physical body to let go of. And energy, most people don't get it. Most of the population probably don't get it. They don't understand what is going on with their bodies. And energy is everything, as I always say. So wherever you've gone through in an early part of your life, whether you've gone through a childhood trauma, whether you've gone through rape, whether you've gone through a kidnapping, whether you've gone through, there's so many different things, not just negative but positive as well. But usually the negative things are these negative attachments that hang on to us, and we carry them through our lives. And until we let go of this trauma, your true healing won't begin. And this is where Moldavite comes in, as well as Reiki and energy healing and so many other different forms of healing. Moldavite has its own unique power to help you unfold your inner flame, your true power. It opens your heart chakra, it opens your third eye, it opens your crown. You become more sensitive, you become more awakened, you become more empathic. You feel so much more. So sometimes these people that are going through all this shit in their life and all this stuff is unfolding, they think the Moldavite has brought that on them, and that it's brought them bad luck, it's brought them negativity, and they've got panic attacks, they're having palpitations, they're having anxiety. They are probably starting to go through a spiritual awakening. And because most people don't really know how to deal with this and how to deal with the spiritual awakening, that they think of it as a negative. A few people that I've worked with in the past that have gone through very traumatic spiritual, like worse than mine, very traumatic spiritual awakenings, and they've reached out to me, or I've reached out to them, and I've sent them healing, and and I've helped guide them on their journey through this process, or guided them as well as I can, and that they're coming out the other side now, a few years later, with a higher understanding, a higher confidence within themselves, a higher vibration, a clearer sight of what things could be. And it's not just what we deem to think or see or feel within our physical world. There's so much more. And this is, again, the power of Moldavite, and it makes you understand and realize that there is so much more to this world and to our physical bodies, and this energy that we have within each and every one of us. It's all at different stages of development. So there's no telling what Moldavite is going to do for you. It will react differently to every single person, but the energy is intense. It is very powerful. If you are sensitive, if you are empathic, if you are intuitive, if you are a medium, if you are a psychic, if you are a healer, if you're clairvoyant, clairaudient, whatever your ability may be, Moldavite will heighten it. However, you need to be prepared for whatever the journey it's going to take you on. And like I say, every person will experience a different aspect of Moldavite. Moldavite draws you in, and like I say, I wear it every single day, in a cage around my neck. It's habit. It's just like, it's what I need to do. If I don't wear my Moldavite and my tektite each day, especially when I go to work, which is a very negative place, which hopefully I can get rid of and do something that actually feeds my soul, but and do the Reiki more. But if I didn't wear them every single day, and sometimes I do go to work without wearing them because I forget, or I'm in a rush or whatever, by the end of that shift, I absolutely know that I haven't worn it, because it is a protector of your energy. It's a protector of your aura. It's a protector of your physical body. It protects you from negativity, from attachments, from negative entities. It helps develop you on so many different levels that sometimes when we do have an unfolding or a peeling back a layer of who you are, of your energy, and this release, this emotion, this removing of this blockage. I've talked about blockages before in videos, and when we move a blockage and when we remove a blockage of energy, it then allows things to flow. And when things start to flow, you start to feel. And when you start to feel, you start to sense and experience so much more within your physical body, but also energetically and around you, and you become more aware of so much more. And again, this is part of your awakening journey, your awakening process. And if you are even curious about spiritual awakenings, your spiritual awakening, what is going on with you, how can you get over something that may be stopping you, blocking you, if you feel blocked in life, if you feel like something is slowing you down or draining your energy, and if you haven't got Moldavite, I would suggest get a piece to try it. So when I first got the Moldavite, I was aware it was very powerful, and I was aware of it being of such a high vibration. So I worked with it carefully and gently, and I integrated it within my physical life gradually over a period of time, to the point where I could wear it every single day. So to start with, I held it and just meditated with it and felt the energy. I then meditated with it with other crystals. I then placed it on my heart chakra. I then started to wear it for longer. I then started working with it on my third eye. I then started meditating with it on my third eye, which was like boom. It just went absolutely crazy, but good crazy. Sometimes we do need to be ready, so we need to listen to our intuition. When you feel guided towards a crystal, when you go to a crystal shop and something just like catches your attention and you're just like, wow, yes, that's the one for me, and you feel it deep down that you need to have that is your soul calling you for that crystal. That is what happened to me when I saw this Moldavite in the shop. And before I'd had my Akashic reading, I felt drawn and compelled to get a piece of Moldavite. Years before that, I felt compelled, when I was starting to understand and find out about crystals and what crystals can do, I felt drawn to Moldavite. So Moldavite kept popping up. I then started watching videos about Moldavite with Mark Bayersky and various other people, and I was just like, what is it about this thing? So these synchronicities kept popping in, and this is the spirit world connecting with you, communicating with you. You might, a lot of people just say, oh, nonsense, it's just coincidence. It's not, it's synchronicity. It is the world around us that we connect with, that is always trying to connect with you. Most people don't realize it, but it's always trying to connect with you through your soul, through your intuition, through your feelings, through your senses, through your abilities, whatever they may be. And that's how I came to get Moldavite. And I've had, like I say, I've had the palpitations, I've had the flushes, I've had the heat, I've had the feeling of intense energy around me, but it's helped me develop on so many levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, as well as helping me develop my other innate abilities within me. We're all of a psychic nature. That's your intuition. Your intuition is your psychic ability. So it helps with that as well. It helps with your clairaudience. It helps with your clairsentience, your claircognizance, all the other clairs. There's so many different clairs, and because of this universal extraterrestrial power that this mystical glass has, it can help you on so many levels. And instead of looking at these things as a negative, when we're feeling emotional, when we're feeling low, when we're feeling depressed, when we're having panic attacks, when we're having palpitations. When I was going through my anxiety, my panic attacks during my early stages of being at rock bottom before my awakening really began, that was kind of like, that was my soul giving me a lesson. That was my soul telling me that, you know, you need to like come out of this. You are so much better. You are so much more powerful than what you realize. And when I was walking around and I was seeing everything in black and white, literally in black and white, and then a week later I was seeing the world with a different eye. The colours were so much more brighter, the air smelled sweeter. I know it sounds like a cliche, but this is what happens when we go through this awakening process. And then Moldavite came into my life and kablam, something else changed, something shifted, and it was of such a positive nature that it made me feel I needed to work with this further. I needed to know more about this. So that's why I always watch Mark Biercy on YouTube. He is one of the best people. He's been working with Moldavite for 15, 16 years, whatever. He's written books about it, and you know, he's my like go-to guy on YouTube to do with Moldavite and to do with crystals in general, really, but mainly Moldavite and what his experiences are of it. And I mean, he sells stuff on his website that is like insanely expensive. However, like I say, Moldavite is getting really, really pricey. Plus, he works with his Moldavite and all of his crystals for hours and hours and hours, putting beautiful energy into it. He then gets them sent away, he gets them, has silver put on them so you can wear them, so you can hang them around your neck. There's just so much more to it than what a lot of people will tell you. There is something about Moldavite which is just absolutely overwhelming, overpowering, rewarding, and unique. And that's all I can really say about it. It's down to the individual to get a genuine piece of Moldavite and work with it. See what you feel from it. If you are sensitive, if you feel energy of crystals, if you can feel if you are empathic, you know, if you can feel all these different things, then try it. See what you get from a Moldavite. Even if it's not a Moldavite, see what you get called to when you go to your crystal shop. It may not be a Moldavite, it may be something else that is calling you. That's also fine. It shows that your intuition is working. Your soul is screaming out to you to try this, try that, do this, don't do that. That feels a bit funny, don't go somewhere else. Or, you know, all these little whispers and feelings that we have around us. It is your intuition, it is your soul, it is your guides, it is the spirit world around you that is guiding you, correcting you, helping you, and assisting you in so many beautiful ways. And that's what brought me to Moldavite. And you know, I would guarantee that once you get through these things where you need to peel back these layers and this healing begins, you will never look back. You will never look back, and it will help you on so many different ways. And it will help you see so much more clearly. You will see things with a different eye, and you will feel and experience things in a different way. So much so that it will probably change the way you are, it'll change the person you are. People will fall away from you. You will attract different people. Your vibration is shifting all the time. When you're going through these processes and these awakenings, and you're finding these interests in crystals and all this sort of strange stuff which a lot of people don't really talk about, but it is becoming more popular. You attract a different tribe, and you vibrate differently, and this is another thing that we experience through spiritual awakenings. You know, the people that you used to hang around with, they fall away, and these new people come on board and light a new light and make you see and experience things in a whole new level. And that's another thing that Moldavite can do for you. So that's my take on Moldavite. I hope this video has been useful. There's been a lot of people talking about Moldavite. There's a lot of people out there that are banging on about its badness and how dark it is and how negative it is. There's a lot of people out there saying how good it is. I say find out for yourself and see what your soul tells you. Until the next video, much love to you all. Namaste, and take care of yourselves. Bye for now.